Welcome back to the episode of Unranked Podcast. Um, Divisional weekend around the corner. We got the Commanders rolling in area to take care of business against the Bucks. Barely slipped away, a little dink off the goal post, game-winning
Yeah.
field goal, no time left. So now they're rolling into Detroit. It's gonna be a big time matchup. I expect Dan Campbell to had a team ready. Got the tone setter back. He ready to go. He ready to roll. We carrying out our own practice, looking good. Running around a little bit today, what I saw on Twitter. So yeah, we primed for a good Saturday night matchup to get another step closer to getting that Lombardi. So I'll kick it over to you. E. Just want to see your thoughts on the Commanders coming into town and what we need to do to secure this victory.
Yeah, I'll say, first and foremost, this is just all what we've been waiting for since that letdown last year versus San Fran. We got the playoff monkey off our back. Got a couple of wins, versus our old quarterback, and then
Yeah,
we went to take care of I think Baker Mayfield after that, and then kind of ran into just a team that's kind of had been bucking their head at the door for a couple of years in San Fran, and that's kind of like us this year. Very took a great leap 2 years ago and finished the season tremendously strong. Last year, came out firing right from the jump with Kansas City, and then on
hmm,
the way to now. So this is exactly what we've been waiting for. We got the number one seed, rested up the squad. I think that's going to make sizable difference. Think about week to week. I don't know necessarily how much we should play David Montgomery. I don't think we should unleash him right back to the bell cow. But as far as just getting his feet wet and
yeah,
hope the game is going how we plan, get his feet wet with it, 5, 7 carries. Then
yeah,
next week or the week after that, we can rely on him for double that. Get back up to the 15 range. If
sure.
he's comfortable. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But first and foremost, the game is going to come down to um, the two facets of the ball. Make sure we can do what we want, running the ball on them. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to, which is going to help our defense keep Jaden Daniels off the field, help kind of keep him contained, and then
Hmm.
from there, just the defense needs to kind of overcome that kryptonite as far as the running dual threat quarterback that we seem to have had over a couple of years, and hopefully work up enough where it's they're keeping him the young rookie on his feet, on his toes, making him uncomfortable, as well as it's sending exotic blitzes and find a way to mix in that cover the unique coverages where we can have Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, just kind of hovering around, doing what they do best as far as going back and taking that ball. That's kind of what I see. Just pound that rock, and defense gonna have to play a fairly sound game as far as him. He's pretty elusive. I didn't watch them all that close this year. I stat watched a lot, and before I knew it, he was already like up to 800 rushing yards, which was kind of shocking to me. That it seemed very, that seems pretty. That's impressive
Yeah,
for him
that's
not
Lamar
even.
like
Yeah,
Mike
it's more
Vick,
like so.
RG3.
Yep, you're in that realm if you can suppress, hang around that 1,000 yard mark. So he's dangerous with the ball in his hands, and in general, I'm just looking that we can get a couple more possessions out of them, a turnover or two from that unit, and then we play a clean game. And if they're going to sell out on the run, it'd be the JMO St. Brown show.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you there. And I think they, I think the Bucks shout out Baker Mayfield. Then got to have the Rams and the Vikings coming back in. Little fumble on the handoff, gave the ball back in their own, in the Commanders' own territory. But I don't know. I just feel like the Bucks were like they lost like Chris Godwin and kind of had like a lot of injuries happen and stuff, and like lost Mike Evans for a little bit. I feel like that was just kind of I don't know. Like they gave them that was like an interesting game to watch, given what we did to the Bucks. You know,
Mm.
like even though they beat us, but like how we like outgained them. So that's kind of I don't know, kind of basing like how I think this game will go off of that, just how close it was, and we weren't really playing our best game, but we're gonna play we're gonna have our best stuff this Saturday, and I think we just gonna need to jump up on them and just really you know get a two-score lead and let that defense and that crowd, because they also like to run a little bit of tempo. Like I don't think they really be able to do that like that. If that crowd is getting noisy and they got, they down like 10-0, like, you know, 2-3 minutes
Yeah,
left in the first or something like that. Yeah, to be, Golf to be locked in, playing point guard. We talked about before we got on here, he's motivated, more than ever. I expect a big game out of him. Play action because I've like their weak. I've heard their weakness is like run defense. I think they're like 30th in run defense. So we get Jameer because I agree with you. I feel like Jameer is like RB1 now, and like Montgomery probably come in third and medium, third and obvious passing down, low pass blocking, get him 6, 7, 8 carries. He did say he ready to go. So I mean, maybe we'll see how that looks. But like I think Jameer, you got to ride that hot hand and really kind of let him get going and get rolling because I mean he's 22, 23 touches, last three
yeah.
or 4 weeks.
No, Jameer Gibbs is cooking with fire recently. I mean, he's on.
Yeah.
I when apologized, I think a week or two ago on here, I kind of questioned that how many carries we could consistently get him, or how many touches we could consistently get him, and
Hmm.
he's exceeded my expectations. I thought he would
No, for
kind of
sure.
he would plateau eventually, or he would
Yeah.
it wouldn't be continuous gains as far as like just keep giving
Hmm.
the ball. He's going to always find a way to break a 40-yard. I didn't think that was possible, and
Yeah.
he's doing it. Yeah, he's explosive. He's stepping up.
Yeah.
I can't think of who it was, but a couple weeks back he stepped on a pass block for San Fran, busted his face on it, helmet to his face, got a little banged up scratch or type
Hmm.
thing. It's he that's real football.
Yeah.
That's
Tough.
every down
Tough.
back as far as I'm concerned. He's
Yeah.
clearly
Running that
dangerous out of the
rock.
backfield with the ball in his hand or with receiving. So no, it's his spot to lose. And Dave Montgomery, bell cow. Don't let we can't forget what he's
Tone
done throughout
setter.
the year as
Yeah.
well. But
For
I think
sure.
I think with a couple of games to go is how you're looking. You have to plan this out for the whole journey to
Three
the
game
Super Bowl
season.
and get the yep, and until you can get that dub. So I agree with you on that. And then I I think it's like they're giving up 130 something yards a game, 138 or 136 rushing yards a game. I believe we average more than that. So
Yeah.
just getting our average, we should, we're one of the better running rush teams in the league, and they're one of the worst. That's a recipe for disaster.
Hmm.
If they completely sell out on that, we have a quarterback, um, a quarterback that can step up and make those plays. Jared Goff will have to make some timely throws to extend the defense. I'm sure they're going to be sending the house. Nobody wants to lose, giving up 7, 8, 9 yards a pop. So
Yeah.
we're going to start to cook up that defense, and you have to make those timely throws to make them go back to that base. And that's what I'm looking for is JMO just to get explosive and Ben Johnson to cook up some crazy plays. Ben Johnson, you give that whole team a week off, you give them another week to study. I'm sure they had a statistics of who they would probably play. They had a little mini game plan for 3 or 4 different teams in that
Oh
scenario.
yeah.
So take that, run on that, jump on that, and sky's the limit. Let's not forget Aaron Glenn. He's been sitting back in lawn chair style. That's how I want them to try to be in this game where that rookie quarterback he's up. I mean he's dangerous. He could easily go off and they still lose. He could fall flat in their face. I think it's a lot is up in the air as far as what we could expect from him. But I did see a lot from him every time I watched this year. And I be honest, going into the draft, I was not that high on him. Um I seen a
He's
little
so like
compilation of him just getting laid out in college. Like he couldn't
he'll
he
be.
couldn't yeah, he couldn't he just looked like he was getting ragged out there. So I figured he would that would come back to bite him in the league a little bit. But no, he looks poised. I've been right here and he started 55 college games. You can see that. But there ain't nothing like Ford Field. That's been proven time and time again. That crowd is vicious,
Yeah.
loud. Their fans are chanting, "We want Detroit" after the game. I think be careful what you wish for because I think that crowd is going to be fired up. And
Yeah.
generally speaking, I'm probably a pretty cool crowd. But if you go in there that cocky and arrogant, you deserve what happens.
For
So
sure.
I'm ready for it, man. The team's cooking with fire, bro. I just want to harness this shit and keep it going. I feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. I echo a lot of that. Like, Jay Daniels definitely exceeded my expectations. And he's like slippery. Like, that's the thing. We got to find a way to keep him in that pocket. Just. throw some blitz. You definitely gonna be blitzing them there and there. Um, like yeah, like I said, I like to see that Terrion gonna be healthy. I just saw them like Carlton Davis even gonna be able to come back from for the for the rest of the playoffs. But we've been rolling with this defense. They've been doing a thing. So it's really just a matter of the offense. I mean, just how it was last year. Front
Yeah.
seven was nice, secondary was weak. This year is flipped. So we just need like the offense. Golf got to be. We need 25, 32, 260. You know what I'm saying? A couple touchdowns, like no turnovers. We gotta score in every possession because they gonna definitely score 17 to 24. Like that's like the new just average in the NFL, especially with a quarterback like that. So we gotta, put up about 34, 35, and just really put pressure on them. And I think we'll do that.
Yeah. No, it's it's interesting because I'm not saying he's as poised as Josh Allen, but you remember in that Josh Allen game, they were just and obviously we were so depleted at that point in time also, but they were just simply rolling out. He would trot over to the sideline, and he was either going to take 1 or 2 yards, potentially break one, but 1 or 2 yards, and just dunk to a guy coming across the middle. And it was agonizing to watch. And obviously that was a shootout. What was it, like a 46-42 or something?
Yeah.
And I think the defense has gained a lot of ground since then, and I don't think this offense is nearly as difficult to deal with as far as Buffalo is. But I think that's what does scare me as far as them trying to find ways to mimic that. Them trying to find ways
Mhm.
to mimic a little
Like,
bit, yeah, just the success that we of the quarterbacks that kind of a little more mobile. We
yep.
uh we tend to our defense tends to lose fundamentals a little bit. We tend to
hmm
in plays and let people get open. So just
I'm glad we got Anzalone back. That's gonna make a huge difference as
yeah,
far as just like covering tight ends and running backs, because that's what we
it
was
is.
missing.
In another week of letting his Frankenstein shit heal up, and
Dog.
across the board, from Decker to Panay Sewell, just the offensive line getting rejuvenated and Gibbs
Hmm
getting more carries. And I looked this up. I meant to remember this shit, but he's had more carries this year than he practically had in 2 years of college. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, so he is and probably
I
going
heard
back to
he led Bama in receptions
yeah,
in his
yeah.
one
No,
year
he
there.
had some great. He only had like 100 and I don't want to make it up, but like 130 carries and like
Like 900 yards.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
then and then he also had like 42 catches for like 700 yards and off. It was
Yeah.
and
Yeah. It's nuts.
and then he was. It doesn't look like he was the primary back at Georgia Tech because he only had like right around the same amount of carries. So this
Hmm
a lot of fresh legs, but also on top of that, he's not used to this back to back weeks of 24 touches. So
Right.
I think it was good just to get that whole break, realign everything, and I'm confident with Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson just cooking up some plays. And you said it, Jared Goff has a clean game, and I think it will. I don't want it to be an issue, but I do think it's going to come down to not come down to, but I do think it will be one of those. How many are we going to kick those 53-yard field goals? Or are we going to have our blitzkrieg on? We're just going for points no matter what. Fourth and seven,
And
and
we,
it's inside the 40. We're pushing for it. I do think that could make the game potentially a little more close than I think it
yeah.
needs to be. It
They
also
do the
could
same
extend the game.
thing.
We could accelerate. Yeah.
Yeah. They do the
Yeah.
same
There
thing.
might
Went
not be
for
a
it.
punt in this game. There might
I
not.
mean, they were down 17-13
But,
and went
yeah.
for it like twice and like wasn't interested in no field goals. Like, yeah, so it's gonna be interesting because I think we were talking about last week or a couple weeks ago, like Campbell going for it on fourth, having teams like kind
Yeah.
of getting out of character. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because both these teams is just like risk takers, just
It is. So
aggressive.
yeah, I think it's one of those things where if we keep doing it, they're going to feel obligated to do it, assuming we're getting them. If not,
Yeah,
if not, then we look kind of like we always say, they look kind of foolish, where we're giving up easy chances at points, and then they're going to get field goals, and then we got to play catch up that way.
yeah,
But I think that will be an interesting kind of wrinkle in it all, as far as if do we believe in that defense enough to keep sending them out there, or are we gonna just kind of go all out like we have been?
Hmm.
I'm not saying if it's broke, don't fix it, but that'd be interesting dynamic, and I think that'd be one wrinkle from Dan Campbell as far as just how aggressive are we going to be throughout this, like you said, 3 game season.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good matchup Saturday, 8 o'clock at night. Ford Field will be rocking. You want to give a little score prediction?
Yes, sir. I will go 38-28.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do 34-23.
I like that.
I think we're going to get a turnover or two. I just think like got respect for them. I just think the Cinderella story just, you
Got
know,
it.
they got their first win in the playoffs since like 2005 or 2006. Um, so yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and just overwhelm them and pull
Yeah,
out a 10, 11 point victory.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I agree. We marching for we on a certain mission, and I can't see this team uh
Yeah,
giving this one up. And I do
you
think
might
this
see
lets
Dan
you know
Campbell. He might be coming off the edge. Aaron
maybe
Glenn playing
whatever it takes.
safety. Yeah.
Uh,
So,
no, I think
yeah,
we go all out on this one, and I think the team is that's one thing about Campbell is he keeps that team fired up and ready to go. I seriously I do think they're bringing we want Detroit. I think they're probably played in the locker room 30 times by now. I think the team is just destined for some, and it's not a divisional playoff exit. So I'm thinking I'm feeling pretty good about this one. And then
yep.
like you said, not to look too far ahead, but then we got you get to do this one, you're in the hunt where you want to be.
Most definitely. But yeah, no, we'll let's kind of turn the page here, talk a little bit about our Detroit Pistons. They've been doing their thing right now.
On
I'm
a roll.
looking, yeah, on the road. 7C, or excuse me, the AC right now, 21-19, 8-2 in their last 10. 2 game win streak, undefeated in Madison Square Garden. I feel like Cade took that game last year where not DiVincenzo like slide tackled somebody and they didn't call a foul. They ended up coming back and winning that game because he has went over there and it's been belt to ass.
Yeah,
Like he had 40 the last time he went over there, and he had 36, 18 in the third. When they beat him last, we got Malik Beasley shimmying and just
yeah, bro. That
hitting
was
dagger
perfect.
back to
That
back.
little last play where Cade got doubled. He swung at Tim Hardaway, who
Yeah,
easily could have shot and made it himself, and nobody would have said nothing. Another
yeah.
perfect pass. That was like that's next level teamwork type shit too, to where
Hmm.
you lets me know that's the right play 100% of the time. And
Yeah,
yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
I'm ecstatic
Ro
about the spot, bro.
Rolling. Yeah, and I don't know how you and I were talking about earlier, like you get a team around Cade. Like it was just so frustrating, like hearing people was like, I don't know if he's it, I don't know if he's the guy. Like, I mean, like I told you earlier, Fontecchio was starting last year. I think he plays like 10, 12 minutes a game now.
Yeah,
Like, if that, I mean, like you got some shooting, got some bets, you got the perfect amount of bets. Like I love that Tobias Harris pickup. I mean, he's giving you, 22 and 10 every other week. You got Beasley. I'd say they're probably the best franchise or free agency signing since Chauncey. Said that a couple times already. He's hitting five, six threes a game, like off the bench. He's guys getting hurt. He's coming in off the bench, like coming in the starting lineup, like picking up like nothing happened. Like you got Cade, like he's starting to hear the talk. Like we was talking about Luca. LeBron saying kind of comparing to Luca, he said you can't slow him down. Like he just goes at his own speed. 6'9" point guard. I mean, he third in league in assists. Like, I mean, they are rolling right now, and I just hope he if he don't get in this All-Star game, it's gonna be a travesty.
no,
And
another robbery.
I like LaMelo, but like, bro, like we can't let like how is a leading vote getter on a 9 and 27 team? Numbers not even there. He barely played. Like Cade, like he should be starting in the All-Star game. That's not a hot take. He's playing better than Brunson, playing better than Maxey, playing better than Dame. Like I did all I looked at it all today. Like he's crushing it right now. So I hope that they can get it done. He can at least get in there and be a reserve, but I do think he should be starting.
Yeah, no, I that the whole playoff or the All Star game they're just finding ways of ruin that in general. Like it's from the system, how they're doing it, the format to the voting to all they're dropping the ball on that. But the NBA, quite plain and simple, the NBA hate the Pistons, and in particular, they seem to have something against Cade. He should have got Rookie of the Year. They didn't do that. And then we had to hear for how oh my God, what's my man in Cleveland? The
Evan
guy
Mobley,
Evan Mobley
he got Rookie of the Year.
and
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson was better. Not Jalen Brunson, but my man down Jalen Green was better. And we kept hearing Scotty Barnes, and they were just throwing anybody out there in that draft. And it's like, what do you? I don't. True, Cade had a lot of injuries, but when he played, you can't deny that he was out there 25-5, and he's completely
hmm
up that, like you said, 24, damn near 10, and 6 or 7 rebounds a game. Phenomenal. I heard see a little video actually that said at his age he'd be the first person to do that stat line since Oscar Robertson. Um, and that's just crazy company to be in.
yeah,
So I agree. You keep the shooters around him, sky's the limit. And he has that weird combo where he's not freakishly fast. He's the right amount of quickness, but he's super strong. He can get to his spots. And has real skill with the ball. You watch him, he has a little bit of that, Joe Johnson, a little bit of Paul Pierce, like that from that bag. As far as when he wants to cook somebody off the dribble, he'll blow by you without realizing how fast he is.
yeah,
And then outside of that, he's dunked more this year than I've seen him dunk all throughout his 2 or 3 seasons here. He's attacking the rim, which lets me know that he's put on enough muscle mass, enough physical mass to be able to absorb some of those hits. That's we just gave him the bag. He probably biggest contract in Pistons history. And
yeah.
he's proven why he's earning that. And from Trajan Langdon to JB Bickerstaff, it's night and day with the squad, and this is exactly what we need from the Pistons. Something to cheer for. And
hmm
those games, I'm watching those games via whatever random site, and week by week, game by game, that crowd's getting a little bigger, a little louder. It's not just when the Lakers are coming to town. It's not just when Curry's in town. It's a random day, and we got that boy packed out, not packed out, but good 70%, 65% full. There's if they sit there at 500 in mid-March, that stadium sold out. That's how much Detroit loves basketball. So,
Yeah,
bro, I'm looking forward to them continuing to fight, and I really do think if we can keep separating ourselves from that 500 and get ourselves to, let's say, 6 or 5,
yeah.
anything to avoid the 2 big dogs in Cleveland and the Celtics.
Celtics.
I
Yeah,
give us a fighting chance versus
it's
damn
wide
near
open.
anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
The
you got
other
team.
weird thing, real quick, the weirdest thing is we only won 1 game in our whole division. I've noticed that when I was looking at the stat the other day. I think
Yeah, we
we're one
did
and
kind of.
six. Yeah.
Yeah, they did ball out in that little play in, but yeah, they took some. I mean, definitely took some slugs. Like I'm pretty sure they dropped a couple to. They lost a bad one to the Bucks when Ron Holland missed both them free
Yeah.
throws. Then they dropped one or two. They had a pretty tough schedule. They dropped one to the Pacers, kind of out the gate. But yeah, no, they started to figure it out, man. I just like I said, I'm just glad we're kind of like we're not that team that you can, sit all-star players Tuesday night because we're gonna roll in there and we're gonna embarrass you. And then it's like I mean, we beaten teams like the Knicks that went all the way to the or yeah, had like a good little run last year,
Good
got
run.
pretty high
Yeah.
expectations this year, and they're supposed to be a real crazy defensive team, and it don't matter. Like they're doubling them, they're putting, they can't put Brunson on them, they're putting Hart on them, they're putting Anunoby on them, they're putting my man's Bridges on them, and it doesn't literally does not matter. He don't even be getting foul calls like that. So like
No.
that's really what
That's the
like
next
it's
evolution of his game where he starts to get any
yeah
sort of call. And it's gonna come. Like I was watching or clicking through YouTube the other day, and they had a show about Detroit's coming, and it had everybody walking out of the locker room after we beat the Knicks, and they kind of had a little thing about Cade and the coaching, and I'm like, okay, this is the little seeds they plant to let you know, okay, with the system is starting to mess with them a little bit.
Yeah.
They're because anybody could fall apart up until this point. So you continue to do that. I think that'll come with time. And also the squad is just I think they're poised and ready for this type of run because it is a good nucleus of like I sent you earlier. I think it said 14 players Cade played with last year. It's not even in the NBA. Our roster now is full of legit NBA players from top to bottom, and not
Yeah.
the greatest, but legit players, good veterans like Tim Hardaway. Um, uh, and then kind of working the younger boys. Even Ron Holland. Like I said, Ron Holland stats. If we were 11-32 right now, Ron Holland stats don't look that good. The fact that
Hmm.
we 21-19, we can work on that. We can build on
Hmm.
that. I think so. It kind of it massages everything out and makes it all better. Winning cures all. So
Most definitely.
yeah, we're trending in the right direction, man. It's good to see, bro. I could not have lasted another year.
No, for
Uh,
sure. I mean, we were sitting there talking about 30 wins, and I mean, the Bucks are 21-17, and they're the two seed. So like, we can win 3, 4 in a row.
yep.
They drop one or two. We just yeah, I mean, we gotta just like
I
keep it
mean,
pumping,
assuming that
solidify
we'll
it by
play
like
this
March.
caliber of basketball, I don't. The Knicks don't scare me that much. Orlando don't scare me that much. Um, Chicago, not Chicago. Maybe Pacers. I mean, Pacers don't scare me that much.
Yeah,
I think we. I really do think we can beat any one of them in a little 7 game series. Somebody get hot,
yeah,
we get Ivy back fully rested. Kind of just throwing some juice on everything. That's kind of what I'm looking. We'll be in a hunt, bro. We'll
yeah.
be
No, yeah. But you hit on the head there. And this is like I said, it's exciting. Definitely gonna find a way to get to a game. Gotta make that happen this year. Like that's gotta like for sure about to
yeah.
slide over there and hit a game. Like, I can't believe I'm going to Red Wings game from going to a Pistons game at Little Caesars.
You said you should bring the line shit. Just bring some Piston shit. Just wear like, oh,
Yeah,
wrong night.
yeah. Right, yeah. Just bring everybody. Yeah.
Time the Pistons play.
Right, right, yeah. Yeah,
But
no,
no,
it's,
bro.
uh,
That stadium's nice. I think even that Red Wings. I think you'll enjoy it. It
yeah,
might be.
because even they
Um,
they like got an 8 game winning streak going. Like we don't care, but like they got
yeah,
a, they
yeah.
like
It's good.
everybody. I mean, it just feels better. I mean, this is a great time to be a Detroit sports fan. Um, it's yeah, I mean they crushing it. Everybody, I like yeah, Lions kind of led the charge. Everybody else kind of been following suit, really. So it's been a
Yeah.
yeah, good.
And
It's gonna
in
be a
what
good
world
week.
does the Lions lead the charge? But
Yeah.
they got a squad. Detroit sports in general. That Saturday, Detroit's gonna be lit. It's gonna
Oh
have
yeah, yeah. They're gonna have book, and I'm gonna start having to push that book to Detroit propaganda because it's I don't know. It sounded like I mean Jimmy Butler. He trying to get traded to the Suns.
yeah.
I
Don't
heard
let
book.
Book come to Detroit. That'd be
He be
especially for a
rocking
little,
fitteds
little
every
robbery.
every time I see him. Detroit Red Wings, Lions, Pistons or not Pistons,
Yeah,
but like Tigers. Like he,
yeah, he represent hard.
it's a matter of time. I was looking at that contract the other day. You should be able to handle it. Ain't nobody else. We can get up off a couple of these young bulls and him and Cade next to each
He
other.
represent, yeah, that's a backcourt right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure.
So
You got anything else for the people?
no, that's all I got. We'll be back with y'all next Wednesday. Discuss yeah the game and talk a little bit more Pistons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Lions.
Yep, go Lions.